The moment changed everything, not because it was loud, but because it was quiet. On a cold morning in early spring, when the city of Portland, Oregon was just waking up, Daniel Harper stood at a bus stop with his 7-year-old daughter, Emily, and made a choice that would test the last strength he had left. Daniel was a single dad and a veteran. The kind who didn't talk about his service. The kind who folded his pain into silence and carried it like an old backpack that never came off. That morning, his wallet held exactly $12. It was meant for dinner. Just soup and bread. Enough to get them through the night. The city park across the street was glowing with early sunlight. Tall green trees swayed gently, and joggers passed by, unaware that one man's entire future felt balanced on a single decision. Buses hissed as they stopped, doors opening and closing, carrying people to places Daniel no longer felt welcome in. Emily squeezed his hand. "Daddy, are we okay?" she asked softly. Daniel smiled, the kind of smile parents learn to perfect when everything inside them is breaking. "We're okay, Peanut, we always are." Since returning from service, life had been a long road of closed doors. His old job was gone. His savings vanished faster than he could blink. Night after night, he sat on a small rented couch, staring at rejection emails, wondering how a man trained to protect others could feel so invisible. That was when he noticed an elderly woman sitting on the bench near the bus stop. She wore a thin coat, far too light for the weather. Her hands shook as she searched through her bag, her face tight with worry. I think I lost my bus money," she whispered to no one in particular. People passed her. Cars rolled by. A motorcycle roared down the street, then disappeared. Daniel looked at Emily. Then at his wallet. Then back at the woman. Survival screamed at him to turn away. But kindness spoke louder. He walked over and gently said, "Ma'am, where are you headed?" She looked up, eyes tired but kind. "To St. Vincent's Hospital. My husband, he's not doing well." Daniel didn't hesitate anymore. He placed the money in her hand, all $12. Her eyes filled with tears. "Oh no, I can't take this." Daniel shook his head. "You can. You need it more than we do right now." Emily wrapped her arms around his leg. "It's okay, Daddy," she whispered. The bus arrived with a soft rumble. The doors opened. The woman boarded, turning back one last time. "I'll never forget this," she said. The bus pulled away. Daniel stood there with an empty wallet, a full heart, and no plan for dinner. That night they walked through the city park, the lights glowing softly among the trees. Emily laughed as ducks splashed in the pond. Daniel watched her and wondered how kindness could feel so warm and so terrifying at the same time. Later, as they sat on a bench sharing water and crackers from Emily's backpack, Daniel questioned himself. How long could kindness survive when survival was at stake? He didn't know the answer yet. But the world had noticed. The next day began with rain. Soft, steady, and relentless. Daniel walked Emily to school through tree-lined streets, passing coffee shops and busy intersections. Cars splashed through puddles. A city bus stopped nearby, its windows fogged with early commuters. After dropping Emily off, Daniel headed to the public library. It was warm, quiet, and free. He used the computer to search for work again. Construction, security, delivery, anything. Hours passed. Then his phone buzzed. Unknown number. He almost ignored it. "Hello," he answered. "Is this Daniel Harper?" a voice asked. "Yes." "This is Laura Mitchell from St. Vincent's Hospital." Daniel's chest tightened. "The woman you helped yesterday, Margaret Wilson. She made it in time. Her husband is stable. She told us everything." Silence filled his ears. "She insisted we find you," Laura continued, "and she shared your story." Daniel swallowed. I didn't do it for attention." "I know," Laura said gently. "That's why it matters." That afternoon, something unexpected happened. A local reporter called. Then a veteran support group. Then a small business owner who'd seen the post Margaret's granddaughter shared online. By evening, Daniel stood in the same city park, rain washed away, sunlight returning. Emily ran toward him after school, excitement in her eyes. "Daddy, my teacher said you're a hero." He knelt and hugged her tightly. "No, Peanut, I just tried to be kind." A man approached them near the park fountain. "I'm James Collins," he said. "I run a logistics company. We're hiring drivers. I saw your story. Veterans matter to us." Daniel couldn't speak. The following days felt unreal. Job interviews. Warm meals delivered to their door. A donated bicycle for Emily. Even a short helicopter flyover during a city charity event honoring veterans, the sound echoing above the park where it all began. Daniel returned to work slowly, honestly. He worked hard. He showed up early. He smiled more. One afternoon, he and Emily rode a bus together, laughing as the city passed by outside the window. "Daddy," she said, resting her head on his shoulder, "are we okay now?" Daniel looked out at the trees, the buildings, the people rushing by. "Yes," he said softly, "we really are." Kindness hadn't made his life perfect, but it had made it possible. And that was enough. Weeks later, Daniel often returned to that same city park, not out of need but gratitude. The grass was greener now, the trees fuller. Children played while parents watched from benches, coffee cups in hand. One evening, as the sun dipped low and painted the sky in gold, Daniel sat beside Emily and reflected on everything that had changed. He thought about how close he had been to choosing fear instead of kindness. How survival had begged him to hold on. How kindness had asked him to let go. And how the world, unexpectedly, had answered back. Daniel's story is not about money. It is not about luck. It is about a moment. A moment where someone chose humanity over fear. A moment that reminds us all that kindness never disappears. It travels, it grows, it returns. Dear viewers, if this story touched your heart, please take a moment to comment below and share what kindness means to you. Your words matter more than you know. Please like this video so more people can feel this message. Share it with your friends, your family, and anyone who needs hope today. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel Kindness Quest, where real stories remind us that even the smallest act can change a life. Because somewhere right now, someone is standing at their own bus stop, holding their last dollar, wondering what choice to make. And your support might help them choose kindness. Thank you for watching.